starts, and it says it started. But it's wonderful to see everyone this evening and have everybody come in. My name is Kerry Miller, and I do the trainings each and every week here at Instant App Wizard on Wednesday nights. Just a quick note, we will not have training next week due to Christmas, and just mark that off your calendar. We will not be getting together. We will get together on the first Wednesday there after the first of the year. I think it's the 3rd. Let me see here real quick. Let me just check the calendar. December, January. I cannot believe January is here. Actually, it'll be the 1st. So our first training, and I'll send out an email, our first training will, back after the new year, will be the 8th. So that way we don't have to worry about everybody watching football on the 1st and everything. So we'll take a couple of weeks off here for the holidays and get back right after the 1st of the year and start back training and just have another good year of good training and good time. If you haven't joined our YouTube channel yet, join our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Instant App Wizard. That's where all of our videos are uploaded first from our trainings. And if you're a member, you'll get an email as soon as it's uploaded. Also, if you would, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Instant App Wizard. And if you'd like a reminder each week for the training, just text AppCall, APPCALL, to 904-548-3411. And if you don't remember, if you've signed up for training, just go to instantappwizard.com/training, and you can sign up there. But you'll get a message every week that reminds you about training if you just text AppCall. Remember, we are under the new system. If you did it under the old system and you've not been getting the messages, make sure you send in a new message to 904-548-3411 and just say yes when it asks you if you understand that you want to join the messaging. If you have not joined our Facebook group, join it at facebook.com/groups/Instant App Wizard. Any of your suggestions and ideas that you'd like to post in there, there's a lot of great information that flows through the group and a lot of good ideas that come from the group, and a lot of people in there with a lot of knowledge that can help you throughout the group. So feel free to do that and join the group and have a good time with that. But it's facebook.com/groups/Instant App Wizard. Real quick, and this is my quote from the group this week. I just want to remind everybody that the support and help desk is for support, technical support. And we're getting a flood of requests for different upgrades in the support system and so forth. We look at every single ticket, and if you're going in there saying, hey, I wish you would put this little feature in or that little feature in, you're taking away from all the technical questions that come through. The Facebook page is for that, for you to put your suggestions and requests and that kind of thing. Leave the support and help desk for the technical questions. Now, after I posted this, everybody started personally messaging me their technical questions. If you personally message me the technical questions, the likelihood of them getting to support is slim and none. So make sure that you go to the support and help desk to submit your technical questions. The Facebook group is where you should post your suggestions. We've had a huge influx, I'm not sure why, of requests, and our policy at Instant App Wizard is we look at every single ticket. And if it's not technically driven, it's just going to slow down the process and getting the real issues resolved. So please use the Facebook group for suggestions and support system for technical issues. Last week we had Roger Pineda on, and it was a great call. I always enjoy having Roger on, and he is just an absolute pleasure to spend time with. And unfortunately, there was a codec error in the recording, and it did not record. And I asked Roger if he could come back on, and he said yes. And we had a lot of requests. And, hey, man, we'd really like to hear what Roger has to say. Let me tell you a little bit about Roger. Roger joined Instant App Wizard in 2012, July of 2012. And he hit the ground, and he's got a story that'll just blow your mind. And I'm going to let him share that with you. But the great thing about Roger is he's not looking to add any extra nothing to what he sells. He uses what's in the control panel. He sells what he's got. and he's not trying to find code to rewrite something or do something special. He sells exactly what he has, and he's built one heck of a huge business there in Arizona. He's an absolute pleasure to work with. Don't talk to him very often because he's usually got about 10 or 15 appointments a week. And when he's got those appointments every week, we don't get to spend a lot of time together. But he does call me every now and then and say, hey, man, I had a great week. Thanks a lot. So without further ado, let me find him here right there. Roger Pineda, can you hear me, my friend?
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. I'm doing great. Thank you for taking time. I know you've been busy this week and taking time to come back again and do this. Hopefully this recording will take, and we can share it with all the people that said, oh, I cannot believe I did not get that training. But, Roger, if you would, just as we did last week, kind of tell your story, what you started out as, how you joined Instant App Wizard, how you've built your business. One of the questions, a lot of the questions that I had last week after the training was over, and was your pricing model, how you price your annual fees and so forth. And so I'd like to go into that a little bit more tonight if we could, and just share your story, and we'll talk a little bit about your process.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to be back. It's a pleasure being asked twice to be on back-to-back in 2 weeks. We're real excited about our business. You know, Instant App Wizard really changed our lives. There's probably some new people, a lot of new people on the call tonight, so I'll just let the group know that we joined in July 2012, and what happened, my wife and I lost our jobs at the same time, and we were out of work. We had our mortgage, our cars. It was a total nightmare for us because we went from making really good money to no money at all, and I think we had like $500 in our savings, and it was a pretty scary situation. So I knew we had to do something. I didn't want to get a job and be just over broke, and so I got on the internet. I started searching, you know, like reward cards and stuff like that, and I almost joined one company until the company said, oh yeah, we change our game plan about every year. And I said to myself, no, that's not what I want. I'm looking for something that's going to be around for a long time, and I get paid for my efforts. I wanted to build residual income. Anyhow, by chance, I came across Instant App Wizard, and I looked at the program, and I really got excited about it. And I said to my wife, May, I said, hey, this looks really good. I'm going to give them a call. And I called, and we talked, and the company answered all of my questions, and they told me how much it was going to get in. And, you know, they were straightforward. They weren't trying to hide anything. I didn't feel any hype or pressure to get in. And I remember, like I said, we only had so much money in the bank. So anyway, they answered all my questions. I said, oh, let me give you a call back here in about a half hour. Me and my wife discussed it. We looked at the bank account, first of all, to see if we had enough to put on our credit card, you know, because we were maxed. And, yeah, we did. After we signed up, I think, Carrie, we had about $1 and some change left. But we were in the program, and we were excited. I knew this would work because of what's going on with the mobile business. And so I said to my wife, I said, May, you make the apps. I'll go out there and I'll hit the business on the street. And if you learn how to do the apps, then I'll go out there and I'll figure a way out to do this business. So, Carrie, we went out, and I remember I went out for my first month. And our first month, we kind of set our goals. We put in short goals and long-range goals. And we said, okay, let's go out and figure this thing out. So I went out there in my first month. I think in July, by the end of July, we sold our first app, and we were so excited. I came home, and I think I came home with $300. May just looked at me, and I said, it works. And once we found out that it worked, we really got serious about this business. And so I went out every day. Every day I would get up, and we would go out. I would go out for 4 to 5 hours just talking to businesses and showing them about this program. And Carrie, you're well aware because I called you a few times, and I would say to you, Carrie, I'm trying this. What do you think? Carrie, what do you think about that? Do you remember those days, Carrie?
Oh, yes, I do.
Anyway,
Many times.
okay, so, and what happened, we were doing trial and error. Some things were working, some were, and, you know, I would walk in and say, hi, my name is Roger, and I got this greatest thing for you and whatever, and people look at me, and I was being more of a salesperson than really giving information. And I came back home and I told May, we sold one, and I think we sold two more, but it was still not feeling good. And so I told May, we're going to figure this out, and we're going to get to the point where we're going to sell an app a day. And Carrie, at this level now where we're at today, we're going to get to that position shortly where we're actually going to be selling one app a day. We're so excited of what's going on with our business. So anyway, as I was working out different things, I said, the QR code people don't understand. They see it, they don't know how it works. So what I did, I made a copy of a QR code, I laminated, and I put it in my shirt pocket. Easy to come out, easy to go in. So I just walked in there with my cell phone and a little, like a little portfolio, no briefcase, nothing. And I just went in there and I walked in, hey, my name is Roger, and I would pull out my QR code and say, have you seen this? And all of a sudden people say, yeah, but I don't know how it works. What does it do? How does it do? And so I said, well, let me give you a 2-minute demonstration. Then what I would do, I would put the QR code down, I would scan it and show them what would happen, and they would go, wow, that's amazing. And then I would give them a couple of samples of a couple of the apps that I sold, and I started closing the deals. And I started getting in, and as of today, every day I go out for 3 to 4 hours, and every call I walk into, Carrie, I have that QR code in my hand. And it's amazing how it turned my business around. And I wanted to tell the group this, is we went out there with belief. We believed in what we were doing. And the app that we have, I use everything that's in the back office that I want to use. I don't add anything. I don't go try to change it. I keep it very, very simple. So when I'm making my presentation, the clients know that I'm there and to give them a mobile app and not to replace their website, but something that they could use to get more referrals from their existing clients and bring in more clients and make more money. So that's what we do. And the exciting thing about this, and I was talking to Duke, who is one of our really great resellers in California, and I was talking to him the other day, and I was asking him a few questions. And do you realize I sold 2 apps last week. I sold 2 today. I got 2 tomorrow and 1 on Friday. I sold 1 already for Monday, and I sold 1 for the 27th of December already on the books. And would you believe my wife is in the Philippines because they had that big disaster where she's from, and she is making the apps, Carrie, from the Philippines for me. What kind of business can you do all over the world just with a computer and your mobile phone? And May said to me the other night, she said, hon, you realize we've done about 12, 14 apps in the last 2 weeks that she's been gone, Carrie? And I said, that's amazing. And what I do with May on this trip, because she's giving bags of food out to people who need help down there, you know, with that disaster.
Right.
And she's able to give out, because of Instant App Wizard, when we first started, we were just trying to get enough money to not to lose our houses and our car. And now my wife's in the Philippines, and for Christmas, she's going to give out 50 bags of food for people who are poor and need it. And it's all because of Instant App Wizard. And we are building a business that we can do it anywhere. And I've got to tell you a story what happened today. We kind of changed things a little bit. What we do is I get home, and May gets me these names of businesses within a mile area. And what we do, I call them. She gets me the name, the owner, the location. Then I come home, I call them in the afternoon, say, hey, my name is Roger. We're the company that puts out those QR codes. I'd like to stop by and give you a 2 to 3 minute demonstration. Would that be okay? If I call maybe 15 people, I'll get 3 or 4 of them and say, yeah, stop by. And I really don't set up appointments. I'll just stop by when I'm in the area. It really makes the owner on that site that he's not making any commitment, but when I show up. So I remember this one, I showed up, his name was Mark. It was an auto body shop. I walked in, I said to the secretary, my name is Roger, and Mark said I can come in and give him a 3-minute demonstration. Well, he heard me tell that to his secretary, and the secretary goes in to say to him that Roger's here, and I hear him say, tell him he only has 2 minutes. I said, 2 minutes, I heard him. So I walked in there, and he said, okay, show me what you got. Well, anyway, I end up selling him. We put his signs on the door and everything. He loves his mobile app. And what happened in that first appointment, I sit down and I go through it. And after I got done with my little pitch and I got him interested, and he says, I said to him, hey, how was that on time? And he says, well, you took 5 minutes. And I said, the reason I took 5 minutes, Mark, you asked questions. He just smiled, and his partner looked at him like, wow. You know, right now my business is really starting to expand on referrals. And I got to tell you what happened to me yesterday. You know, if you've sold businesses out there and you're not going in to say hi and show up, if you're one of those guys that sell the app and don't want to see them again, you're going to lose that business, and you're not really getting the real benefit of that mobile app and those clients. So I remember yesterday I walked in to see one of my clients. They had their QR code on their business card. They had the QR code everywhere. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. You guys are doing this right. And then I said to his name was Oscar. And I said, Oscar, I'm looking to make an extra couple of sales this month for the holidays. You know anybody? He goes, yeah, I got a great lead from you. He says, call him. And you can see him only today, so today I went to see him. He said, call him, tell him, I told you to go down there. He saw your QR code. He got all excited about it. So I said, okay. He said he's not there on Tuesday, but he'll be there on Wednesday. So today, Carrie, I went in to see the gentleman. He owns 2 businesses, and he has a hot dog business, which is just fantastic. So we're doing a mobile app for him, but he also puts out a classic Spanish magazine with different ads in it. And I got the magazine right here, and he has like 72 people already advertising with no one with a QR code. And he's going to put a QR code on the front of this magazine. He's going to give me a free ad page so I can put my information on there.
Wow.
I gave him the mobile app for the book at no charge, and
Smart.
he said he's going to promote every one of those businesses. He said, Roger, I'll make sure that none of these businesses put their ad in without a QR code. Is that amazing?
That is phenomenal, Roger. I mean,
And
that's
all
phenomenal.
I did to get that lead was stop by with a customer that I sold 3 months ago. And I walked in and say, how you doing? And I go in there and I make them feel that I really care. And you know, that's a wrong statement to say. I really do care for my customers. You know, I'll walk in, hey, do you need any more signs? How you doing? Have you put it on your business card? Right next door to him, after I sold him, I sold another guy. And this gentleman, his name is Ray. And he never smiled when I was talking to him. He was real stern, you know, like, you know, whatever. And anyway, I sold him. Well, I went in there I actually went in there yesterday when I was there. I walked in and said, hey, Ray, how you doing? Gary, he had his glass signs up with his QR code. He even had his QR code on his business card. And I said to him, hey, I just wanted to stop by and see if you are okay, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And for the first time, Terry, he smiled.
You took the stooge out of him, the Scrooge.
It was really, really great. So if you're on the call tonight and you're building this business, I remember I told Nate, our goal for the first year was to do 100 apps. And I said, we do 100 apps, honey. We could always pay for our cars and our home and everything that we need to live on. Well, at the end of the year, we ended up with 36, and we didn't get discouraged. I told May, well, we ended up with 36 in a year. I said, but next year, I'm getting good at this. We're going to do 1 a day. And I think now I have over 133 apps on the books now. Incredible.
That's incredible. Incredible.
We met that goal. But I want to tell you another story. if you don't use your clients to get more clients, not, not clients for them, but clients for your own business, then you're missing the boat. I went out today, and this morning I went out about, let me tell you this so you guys don't get discouraged. It's not all roses for Roger. I went out this morning, I had an appointment at 8 o'clock. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to get there. The lady was not there who did the appointment. We did the demo app for her, already done, completely. It was beautiful, Carrie. I went in there, they weren't there. So I take off, and I hit a couple other clients. I didn't get any business. I went back. They weren't there. So finally, I just said, I'll call them. And I called them, and the girl said, no, they don't want it. They didn't even see it, but I put all this time and effort in building that demo app. But instead of getting discouraged, I go out and I talk to a couple more people. At 1:30, I had no sales. Well, I said, gee, this is a tough day. But instead of giving up, I said, I'm going to go and get that one across the street. I went across the street. I wrote it up for $400 today. Amazing. Then I got that one done. I had one guy that I had done the demo for a couple of days. He called me. He wanted it for another $300. I called another one that just wanted a business card. I went in to see her today, and she got it for $200. So instead of getting discouraged when people tell you no, even after we made these apps for them, we did not get discouraged. But I'll tell you how I got the one across the street. I walked in there. He was a stereo place. In that little area, I signed up 2 stereo places, big ones. And this is what this gentleman does. So I walked in there, and I introduced myself. I said, but I want to show you what I'm doing for some of the businesses out there. I show him a landscaping one. I show him a restaurant. And then I said, let me show you a couple of stereo places. As soon as I showed him the stereo places, he says, oh, you did that one? I said, yes, let me show you their app. And he looked at it. And then I said, oh, look what I did over here. And he said, you did one? I said, yeah. They all know each other. He said, you don't have any QR codes. We've got QR codes on their doors and everywhere. He said, well, okay, what do I do to get one? I wrote him up. He fell in love with it. We're going to have his app ready for him on Friday. And it's all because I'm using the existing businesses that I've signed. If I go into an auto body shop, if I've sold 3 or 4 in the area, guess which apps I show, Terry? I show them those apps that I'm there because he relates to them. And it's like anything else in business. My competition's doing it, and I'm not. I better get it. So we're real excited. Now, also, I did the color flyer that we have in the back office, in our back office, Terry, and I printed some blue ones out, 8 by 10 or 8 by 11, whatever. I made 200 copies. I got a special deal on them, and I ran out. So what I did, I just went and made black and white color ones off a machine. I did like 30 of them. And guess what, Terry? The flyer got me 2 deals. You know why it got me the deals? I went into a cab company, right? I didn't have time to go and get the color ones, but I had to get these out on the street. I go in there and I hand them this flyer, and when you look at it, it looks like, what is this? But you can really see my name, and the gentleman that's on there looks like a ghost. You can barely see the QR code, and I gave it to the owner of the cab company. And he goes, Roger, what kind of flyer is this? I said, well, I ran out. I need to go get some more color ones down. But the flyer caught his attention, and I wrote the cab company up.
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. Roger, let me just ask you this question, and I've heard you say this so many times, and we've talked about it so many times, and we do have a ton of new people that are on the call tonight, and there's one thing I love about your process is that you keep everything so simple. Yeah. And if I've had one request, I've had 1,000. You know, what kind of PowerPoint presentations do you use? What kind of this do you use? You know, is there a video that we can show them? Is there you walk in and show them the app, and you create the app before you ever walk in the door. Is that correct?
That is correct. It works double ways. First of all, I don't use a PowerPoint. I don't use any video. I use demonstration. That's how I'm selling my app. I walk in with the QR code. I show them what it is. If they don't know what it is, I demonstrate them. I show them what we have done, and then I tell them what this will do for their business. And that's basically what I'm doing. I don't make any fancy presentations. my flyer. You would laugh at my flyer if I would show it to you. But that flyer, I went into a guy one time, and he goes, "You gotta be kidding! This is the worst flyer I ever got." And I said, "Really?" He goes, "I said that cost me a dime." And he laughed at me. Well, guess what? The next day I came home and I made a color. When I went back in, I showed him the color one. I said, "Is this good enough?" He said, "Yeah, write me up." Was that funny?
And you've sold 133, you said 133 apps.
130, yeah, we're up about 133 now.
That's amazing.
We should be, by the end of Christmas, we're going to try to hit 150.
And you know, Roger, and I know you and I have talked many times about your beginning when you were literally had nothing, and you went out on a leap of faith. But what you went out on is you knew you had to get out and bust your butt, and you do it the old-fashioned way. There again, I have people call and say, you know, how can I do emails with this? How can I do this with this? You go out and you talk to people, and you share and you show and tell. And there's probably not a better way to do these mobile apps than to go out just like you're doing. And I know when you was talking last week, you was talking about because you didn't have the money to even put gas in the car, you kind of put a circle around your house where you could actually go out and talk to about 30 customers, and you know, so that you could actually get out and make some sales. And,
yeah, that's absolutely right. We stood within probably 2 or 3 miles from my house because at that time we were just learning the business, and you know, we had a goal and we had a dream. But Gary, Carrie, I got to say this. I think what drove me and my wife to do this is we wanted to win. We didn't want to lose. We wanted to win. And knowing that you guys gave us the opportunity to own our own business and do our own thing within the policies, I don't go and change things. I do what you got up there, and I don't have to worry about that. But we keep it very simple. QR code demonstration. But I also take it a little further. I went into a business today that was a motorcycle shop. He said he loved it. He says he's doing some work on his website, but he said come back January the 6th. He said we'll write up. That's going to be a $400 deal. And I said, well, you know, I do very good work. And he said to me, I know. I saw what you did for Oscar. And I said, Oscar? Well, I sold Oscar's store about 3 miles away. And he said, next door. I forgot that Oscar had 2 stores, and there was his other store right next to this motorcycle shop. I walked in, there's the QR code on the door, and it was a little crooked, but it was on the door, and there was my glass display right on the counter, and I felt so good. I told the guy, how's that going? He said, oh, we have people scanning that all day long.
And that's something else I want to point out, and especially to all the new folks here. If you don't put signage up, it's kind of like opening a shop and never knowing what's there. There's a new store that just opened up in Greenville, Texas, just outside where I live, and it's a bakery, and it's called Collins Street Bakery, and their initials are CSB. And the only way I knew what they were, and they still do not have any signage up, and I can't imagine because they're a huge company. But nobody knows they're there. And I was in there, stopped in there just the other day, and I stopped in to get some cakes. And I said, how's business going? And the manager said, man, it's terrible. I said, well, why do you think it's terrible? He said, I'm not sure. He said, we're an extremely popular company, business. I said, I'm going to tell you. I said, nobody knows you're here. I said, y'all don't even have a sign up yet. And they've been open for 6 months. And it's kind of like putting the mobile apps out there. If you don't advertise it, if you don't let people know it's there, nobody's going to scan that QR code. If you don't put this QR code on the window, nobody's going to scan the QR code. If you don't put it on your business cards, nobody's going to scan the QR code. And Roger makes sure that every one of his customers have signage for their businesses.
Oh yeah, that's the last thing I do. Like I signed up a massage a business last week or the week before, and yesterday I delivered their signs, put them on the window, put them on the counter for both of their stores. I went to their 2 locations, and also she said to me, "Will you show my help how to do this?" Well, I went to the other store. Before I left, they had their sign on the door, and they had the sign on the counter, and every one of their employees had the mobile app on their phone. So I take that little extra, and I'll tell you why I do that. A lot of salespeople, or whatever you want to call us, you know, I feel like I'm out there helping people, bring in more business, and I feel really good about that. Um, uh, a lot of people go in there, they take the money, and that's it. I tell you, if you got annual payments, they're going to renew in a year, and if you don't go and put the QR code on their business cards or their flyers or their websites and stuff, chances are of them renewing a year from now is going to be zero. But guess what? Every one of my business, I'm making sure they got their signs on their trucks, their cars. I make sure they have their QR codes on their door, on their business cards, their invoices, because I know when it comes to renewal, Terry, they're going to renew.
That's right. That's exactly right.
But here's another thing is too. Here's how I do. You guys want to know how we do the business. I try to set the appointments and tell them I'm going to drop by, and those we actually do the full-fledged app. I mean, I walk out with a thing. So when I walk in there, and I show them how the QR code works, I show them some of the work I do, and then I said, oh, by the way, we did a demo. Let me show you what yours would look like. And when I open up their icon and show them, and when I open up their app, Terry, it's a done deal. They'll go, wow. I said, look how nice yours is. Let's hit about you. Look, your Facebook. Look at this. You're on Yelp. Look at your rating. Wow. It's a done deal. Now, when I'm out cold calling, like today, I did one. I walked in. It was a transmission shop. I walked in, and the girl was just on target. She said, yeah, I've been telling my boss we need to get this. I run this place, and if I say we do it, we're going to do it. She said, we need that QR code. And then I kind of went through it, and I said, let me do this. I will do a demo app for you tomorrow, kind of show what it's going to look like. And I said, we'll put all 6 stores on one app, so that way it'll save you money. We'll put different phone numbers and directions for each one of those places. And I said, I'll bring a demo in tomorrow. She said, be here at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and I will sell it because we're doing the app tonight in the Philippines. And when I walk in and I show her what hers is going to look like, Terry, it's a done deal. It's really good. But also, don't get discouraged if people tell you no. I get a lot of no's, but guess what? I get a lot of yeses too. And then once you start making the connections, like with this magazine here, there's 74 opportunities for advertisers in this magazine. And this magazine is going all over the United States to the Hispanic markets.
That's one of the smartest things I've heard. That's a genius idea. And I don't know if you guys heard what he said. And please excuse me, I'm down a little bit of the flu tonight. But he made a deal with that person, and they swapped advertisement, the old barter system kind of. They swapped advertisements, and he gave him a free app for advertisement in his magazine. And you can't, I mean, that would have cost Roger a whole lot more than that app would have. So what a great idea, what a great deal that is. And that's something that everybody should be looking at, is ways to cut deals with advertisers to get your apps out there. And I want you to make sure you've heard Roger. He's only said it like 57,000 times. He always references the QR code. He shows them how easy it is to pull up that app with a QR code. And he also said that he makes sure that all the employees have that app on their phone. And you physically go help them put that app on that phone. Is that correct, Roger?
Yes, and I'll tell you a funny story. I went in to deliver the signs at the massage place. She's really a nice owner, her and her husband. And I delivered the signs, and they go, oh, wow, and they put them on. They cleaned the window, and I had the sign on the counter when they left. Oh, it's really great. And she says to me, she says, Roger, can you do me a favor, and can you go and train my people at the other store and put up the signs for me there for me? I said, sure, I'll do that. So on the way home, I stopped by, I put up the signs, and I educated the people why the signs were there for. I said, let's get your phone, let's put the app so you can share it with your customers. When I walked out of there, all of them had the app and the icon on their phones.
That's customer service at its best. I mean, that's...
And you know what? What it does, it takes my business to a different level. And when it comes to prices, I know you asked me about the prices. This is how I price it. So, and I'm not telling you the prices because you can do your own thing, and every market's different, so I think that's the only best way to do it. First of all, I turn my flyer over that looks like, wow, who made that, okay? Homemade, all right? And on the top of I blank in the back, and then I put down, okay, It's $199 design fee to do the design on the app. And it's $49 a month, and we have no contract. You can cancel at any time. And they start looking at those numbers. And then all of a sudden I pull out that I said, if you pay by year, I will give you that for a year, and we'll eliminate the setup fee, and we'll eliminate the $49 a month. And for that yearly fee, we maintain your app. You don't have to do anything. You have any changes, updates, you just email them to us. We'll make the changes for you. And also, that grandfathers you in. If next year we go up to $1,000 for the app, you will stay at whatever price you paid for the year. And at the end of the year, if you're not happy, there's no cancellation fee. And that's how I get the deal. It really, really works that way. Because what they see right away is I'm giving them an instant $200 savings. I'm taking away that $49 monthly fee that they don't want to pay. And when I show them how much I charge them, it's crazy. Their face lights up. And you got to understand, we're in tough times. Like today, I wrote the one guy from the stereo place. He said, "Can I just start with a few dollars down?" I said, "Yeah, pay me half now, and when I bring your signs, you pay me the balance." And it worked. And it's very, very exciting. We're so excited about our business, especially now that we know we can do it all over the world. I told my wife we're moving to Tahiti, so I'll be on the.
Hey, what? I've got someone asking. What signs do you use? What do you put on your signage?
The signage I use is from the back office. There's that flyer, the blue flyer that we have back there. That's the only signage I use, and I make that 8 by 10, and then I take their QR code, and I make it like maybe 3 by 4. No, I make it even. It's either 3 by 3 or 4 by 4, and I take it to Staples, and I laminate 4 of them. So when I walk in with 4 laminated QR codes and the sign. That's what I'm using. And you get people say, "Can I get more of these?" They said, "How many do you need?" And they said, "I need 8 more." "Okay, I'll have those to you in a couple of days." Then I go back to Tinkles and make 8 more. I take them to them. Now they're putting them on their trucks, and I love it. So that's all I use. I don't use any magic flyers or anything like that. I mean, it's just a QR code and one sign. But here's the difference. I just don't make it like a little, that one I put some effort into. And I take a little money out of my sales because it's worth it. What I do is I make them do that color copy, beautiful color copy on high gloss paper. And then I buy the little sign, the plastic sign that you see. I put it in that plastic sign, and with a high gloss and that new sign, oh my God, it looks good. And that's what I do. And when I tell them, oh, when I come back and I wait till you see your signs, these people can't wait till I come back.
There you go. And like you say, those signs lock them in forever, because once they got those signs up and people start scanning those codes, that app's not going anywhere. Because next thing you know, their customers are going to start saying, "Hey, what happened to your mobile app?"
Well, like the guy I saw today, his second store, I didn't even know it was there. When I opened up the door, they put the QR code on the door, Terry. It was like a little crooked, but they had it up there. That was the main idea.
There you go.
And I opened up the door, and right on the counter where people pay, right in the middle, was my 8 by 10 yellow sign. And let me tell you about that. When I sold the owner, he got it right away. He said, "Okay, I want it right now. I want the text messaging." About, I would have to say 50% of my sales have text messaging. Now, what happened, he called, I had to go back in there and deliver a few more signs for his other trucks. And he said, "By the way, Roger, guess what? I've already made my money back on the app." I said, "Really? What happened?" He says, "I went to like Target or some store like that," he said, "and I parked my truck, but I had the QR codes on them. A guy scanned it in the parking lot, and he needed tires and rims, and he called me at 9 o'clock, and I sold him over $2,500 worth of tires and rims because of the QR code." Now, you folks out there, if you're in this business and you think this doesn't work, it really does work. And everybody's starting to hear about this QR code. They're seeing it in the magazines, and guess what? The guy today with the magazine picked up the phone while I was there and getting me a referral for next week. He's telling the guy in Spanish, hey, this guy Roger has the greatest thing. I'm getting one for my magazine. I'm getting one for my hot dog stand. You got to get it. I'll have him see you next Tuesday. Done deal.
I personally think this week's was better than last week's, but last week's was pretty gosh dang good. But
hey, Kerry, I want to say this, guys out there and the women we have in the business, keep it fun. Don't get discouraged. It really does work, and you will not believe. Starting in January, every month we got annual payments coming in from last year. That's amazing when you wake up and you got all that money coming in because they paid by the year and they're going to renew again. That's crazy.
Guys, this is a man that we're talking to that went from $1.25 in the bank to a $60,000 a year business in the last year. And, you know, it's the first time I heard his story, and then and I've had the privilege, and I call it a privilege, of watching him build this thing and go back and forth and work on his pricing and do different things. But there's one thing Roger never did, and Roger never gave up. And Roger knew that he had a very viable business that was going to make him a great living. And obviously, that's where he's taken this. And I have people call me that say, Kerry, I don't know how to demonstrate this app. Roger pulls a QR code out of his pocket, he scans it on his phone, and he shows them how the apps work. It doesn't get any simpler than that. The only thing, if you're not showing people that app, it's kind of like trying to sell a Cadillac and bringing out a Volvo. You know, you want them to buy a Cadillac, but no. You show them the Volvo. If you're going to sell the Cadillac, show them the Cadillac, and demonstrate. I mean, the best way to show anything is to demonstrate it. That's why a car dealer puts you inside the car, gives you the keys, and lets you drive down the road. He wants you to feel it. He wants you to smell it. He wants you to taste it. He wants you to touch it. And when Roger's got his customers saying, hey, could you go out and show this to my other stores? Can you go out and show them how to download this? I mean, it's just amazing. And his customer service, I truly believe, is what sustains his business. Customer service is the key to life. And if you don't have customer service, then you don't have anything. And you said it right, Roger. If you don't have customer service, they're sure not coming back next year.
I was projecting today, and these are only projections because I've done this many times in my career. I was projecting today that probably by July I'll be averaging about 12 referrals a month. Those are done deals. When somebody calls you and says, hey, Bob, with the QR code has it, he told me to call you.
You can't beat that. Roger will be somewhere around $100,000 at the end of next year. And that's that's amazing, Roger. I mean, I'm just.
And you gotta. And I think what really works for me and May is we do the changes. We are really a good team. But when I'm out there, when I'm making my presentations, and I'm putting up the signs where I sold them, they know that I'm for real, and this is a real deal. They know I'm there to help them. I'm not there just to take their $5 or whatever. I'm there to really help their business. And when I walk in out of the blue and I haven't seen them in 4 months, I say, hey, how you doing? Have you done this? Have you done that? You know, you would not believe it, because what happened, one guy wrote up, said, you know what? People come in like you and I never see them ever again. That guy's seen me 4 times already because I'm driving by, and it takes me 2 minutes just to walk in and say, hey, George, how you doing? Hey, George, I'm trying to get an extra sale this week. You know anybody who needs an app? Oh, yeah, my sister. I went in last week. I sold a safe company, these big safes, okay? The guy is selling 70 safes a week. He says, unbelievable what's happened to this industry. Well, guess what? I sold him the app. Guess what he does when I'm standing right there with him? He shoots it off to his wife. His wife, in about a second, says, this is so cool. I need one for my makeup business. And when they get back from their cruise on the 23rd, I'm writing her up for an app. And I'm giving him $50 as a referral. See, you take care of your people, they'll take care of you. And
Absolutely.
Guess what? They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay there.
That's absolutely right. Referrals is the key to any business. I mean, if you don't have referrals, you don't sustain long unless you got a million salespeople. And it's just Roger. It's not Roger. You know, I hear people say too, and I'll say this. You know, man, if I had 10 salespeople, what I could do. Roger sold 133 apps in the last year by himself. You know, since July 2012, so year and a half. And he goes out and he beats the streets. He talks to people, and shares the app and shares what he does, and keeps it simple. The old KISS system, keep it simple. So, any questions here for Roger before we wrap it up and before we start our holiday week? What is the key to Roger's pricing structure? Can he get specific on what he charges? I think he pretty much said the key, that the pricing structure really depends on your area. His is, you charge $49.90 a month and $199 set up, and if they do the whole deal, it's $400. Is that correct, Roger?
Yeah. So I do the $199 setup to everybody, regardless. I said it's going to cost you $199 setup and $49 a month with no contract. And they look at it, and you can see their heads. Well, it's the $199 is not too bad, and the $49 is not too bad. But then let's say I have my annual fee at $700. Let's say, okay. And I said, but if you do the annual for $700, we eliminate the $199 design fee, and we eliminate the $49 a month. Now, if you figure that at $49 a month, it's $588, and so. And they look at that immediately and go, wow, that's really good, and that's how I do it. And on the pricing, you know, I think Duke does it different in LA because it's a different market. So my market in Arizona is different. Your market may be different where you're at. You got to play around with the numbers, and I played around with the numbers because I asked you a couple of times, Terry, where to go with this thing, and it's all by trial with error. But then all of a sudden, what happens? You do this long enough, you got to be consistent. I don't go out on Monday and then don't go out again for Friday, or I don't go out on Wednesday and don't go out for another 2 weeks. I go out every day, and sometimes, Terry, I'll go out. I leave around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and sometimes by 11:30, I'm just not in the groove. And guess what I'll do? I'll call it a day. I'll come home. I'll start making some phone calls, and then I'll go out the next day. And some days I get in the groove. The last couple of days I've been in the groove. I've been leaving at 9 in the morning and not getting home till 5:30 because I'm so busy. That's what's happening with my business right now. I am so busy. It's crazy.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Any more questions here real quick? Anybody?
I see a note there on the laminated sign in the car. Yeah, I laminate those QR codes, and I tell the people to just put it on their truck window or their car somewhere. And let me tell you, I make sure before I leave they have it on their window. I did a jewelry girl who does jewelries at craft shows. When I brought her the QR code, she got so excited. We ran to her car. We cleaned the back of her back of her car. She put that QR code sticker on there, and she said to me, you know, Roger, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I just didn't know how to do it.
People are looking for help. I mean, everybody's looking for help. Everybody understands that the mobile app is the wave of the future, and everybody's wanting it. They just don't know where to get it, and if they don't know where to get it, if you don't go out and ask them. And that's the key to Roger's success, is going out and consistently asking. Any more questions for Raj? Raj, man, I appreciate you so much doing this 2 weeks in a row. I know you're busy, mate, out in the Philippines, and his QR codes are 3x3 and 4x4, 3x3 inches and 4x4 inches, and his wife's over in the Philippines building apps while she's helping the people there in the typhoon disaster area, and she's building apps during the day and helping out people at the same time. So what an amazing story that is in itself. And I cannot thank you enough, Raj, for doing this 2 weeks in a row. I sure hope this doesn't have a Kodak error. But you're a super guy, and you let May know we love her. And
I will.
you keep doing what you're doing, my friend. I mean, you're just something else.
And I just want to close with this, Terry. The training that you give us, the support the company gives us. I've been in so many companies that was just after my money. You guys are the real deal. And I want to tell the people out there that are in the business or are looking at the business, I am telling you, it changed my life and it can change yours. It's just, you just want to win. But if you put the effort in, and I like the way you do it at the end with it, you got to get out of that car door. You got to step out to do it. But everybody on this call, I don't get paid for doing this at all. But I tell you, it's the real deal. You want to change your life, just like we did. You've got a great business in your hand. A lot of us don't know what we have, but I'm telling you, I sure do. And I hope everybody on this line, if I said one thing that made a difference in your career, I'm very happy.
Excuse me, I was about to choke to death there. Well, Raj, man, I appreciate you, buddy. And I just want to say, you have a great and Merry Christmas, Roger, and I know that your next year is going to be phenomenal. And I look forward to you talking again next December and telling us that you're at 450 apps and everything just absolutely went crazy for you.
Well, listen, Terry, thank you. Thank you for being there for us. I couldn't do it without you being there and the company supporting you, and that's a real good feeling because I know the company's a real deal, and they believe like I believe in the product.
Thank you, buddy. All right, I just want to thank Roger once again. Before I close, I do want to, on behalf of Sean and Woodrow and Mark and Robert and, of course, myself, want to wish everyone a very, very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We will not have training next Wednesday for Christmas, and, of course, the next Wednesday will be the New Year's holiday, and so we'll come back. I think it's the 8th. I'll send out a message to everyone. But everybody have a great holiday. Spend time with your family. That's the most important thing. Keep my mother in your thoughts if you would. She'll be going in for heart surgery on December 23rd, so that's not not the Christmas present that we quite wanted this year, but I'd appreciate you keeping her in your thoughts and prayers. And from all of us at Instant App Wizard, God bless you each and every one, and may you all have a wonderful holiday season. And we just thank you so much for coming each and every week to train, being a part of the training, and we know that if you'll do just like Roger said, and I cannot quote it any better, if you just want to win, you can make it happen. So, and I know everybody on this call every single week wants to win. So I want to say good night, God bless, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and have a great Happy New Year, and let's get ready to start next year on the ground running. And everyone take care.